Movie Thing Show. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
And I'm Meg Turney.
Today we are talking about a fantastic, epic movie. I've been excited for a very long time. I'm wearing the Hobbit 3D glasses. I already ruined it. We're talking about The Hobbit.
We are.
And if you don't know what The Hobbit is, look at this little clip.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain.
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
Alright, so super fast, quickie review. If you're gonna run out to the theater and you don't know what to see this weekend, you've got to see The Hobbit, in my opinion. Go see this movie. It's kind of long, but if you like Lord of the Rings at all, if you're a fan, even a tiny bit, you're going to love this movie. And whether or not you want to see HFR 3D or 2D or IMAX, I say see it HFR 3D first. We'll talk more about it later. Trisha.
My quickie review is definitely go see it. It's a fabulous underdog story. It's gonna make you feel good. The entire time you're in the theater, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is awesome. Woo! Even though sometimes it's a little long, but you're gonna love it.
My quick review would be absolutely go see this movie. I know I'm echoing what they said a little bit, but my one word of warning is do not see it in HFR. We're gonna get into it a little later, but mine would say go see it in 3D, but do not go see it in HFR.
And pee before you go in.
So this movie is a prequel to Lord of the Rings, and it follows Bilbo Baggins on his grand adventure, and he tells Frodo what his life has been.
I'm going on an adventure!
So the movie stars Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins, and the freaking awesome thing about Martin Freeman is the dude's hilarious, dude's awesome, dude's a great actor.
Sir Ian McKellen is also in this film, obviously as Gandalf, who I thought was kind of a dick in the film, but I love him and he's amazing.
Richard Armitage was in this as Thorin, and if you've read the books, Thorin is a huge character. He is very much the Aragorn of the Lord of the Rings series in this series, so you follow him, you root for him. It's his backstory that we're chasing. He does a great job.
Gotta mention, Andy Serkis is in this again, reprising his role as Gollum.
Good!
The motion capture technology in this is so much better. I don't know, it just feels like, and he looks younger. It's amazing. It's Gollum. And now it's time for Love It.
And hate it.
So my Love It would be its absolute Middle-earth, Peter Jackson, Tolkien amazingness. It's a return back to Middle-earth. It's almost like we never left the place. And it looks beautiful. I mean, I just love so much about this movie. It's hard for me to articulate in English. I read the book about a month ago because I just had to reintegrate myself into the story, and it just follows the book so well. As far as the HFR 3D version of The Hobbit, I enjoyed it. Look, it's weird, and yes, it's jarring and strange, and at first you're like, oh shit, I'm not gonna like this. This looks so weird. It looks like it's on fast forward. It just looks unnatural and not cool. But I embrace the new technology. I embrace the idea that Peter Jackson wants to bring moviegoers back to the cinema because people want to watch their movies at home in their underwear, and I understand that. But to get people into the theater, they are creating these new gimmicks like 3D and HFR, but I think more power to you guys. I love the cinema just as much as they do, and I want to go and enjoy movies in the theater, and if it takes doing things like HFR and 3D to get us there, I'm all for it.
So Steve's Hate It was really a Love It, in case you didn't get that. So for my Love It, I also read the book. I love it so much. When we finished the movie, I turned to these guys and I was like, so who wants to watch it again? Like, let's just press rewind and do it again, because I'm with Steve. I could sit there and watch this stuff all day. I do think it's very much like sitting down and reading a fantasy adventure novel where, like, you get a couple chapters, and when you're reading the novel, you would be okay with putting it down, doing something else for a few hours, and then returning to the novel. In a movie, unfortunately, you don't have that luxury. So for the people who aren't into that so much, it can seem like the movie lulls at certain points and goes on for a little ways. However, if you are into those kind of books, you're kind of used to the action being real high stakes and then a couple chapters of building and then real high stakes, so it makes sense and it works. I love the underdog story. I love rooting for the little guy.
You made me think about it too. I totally relate to Bilbo. I'm not an adventurous guy at all.
So relating
and
to
I
Bilbo.
I want to go home. I don't want to go battle orcs and shit.
And you really don't come out. So
I
what
don't.
you're saying is to get you out now, we just have to go to your house and drag
and
you
force
out of
me.
it?
Yes.
As far as my Hate It, there wasn't really one. I dug, I guess, the HFR. I liked it. I did think it looked kind of like a PC game. I thought the action, the like battle action scenes were helped out by it. There were some scenes that were just cinematically so beautiful. I had to catch my breath. So I'm all for it, and I want to see the next two just like that. So I'm happy.
For my Love It, I do have to say, I have to agree, like, just the Lord of the Rings, it came at such a time in my life when I was growing up that Lord of the Rings is just so near and dear to my heart, and the music and everything else is just so, it reminds me so much of, like, so my happy nerd times that when you see it again, you're getting the same same excitement and it's something new. It's not you watching the same movie over and over again. That's so exciting. I hate it would have to be, and I know I'm completely different than these two. I hated the HFR. If I want to play a PC game, I'll play a PC game. It just made everything look like a video game cutscene to me, and that's not how I connect to cinema. I get that for a younger generation, they're probably going to look at it and not think it looks that weird, and it may become a thing that happens and it's standard, and they won't think it's weird. For me, it was weird. It also, to me, made some of the effects look a lot cheesier. There's a scene in which they're juggling dishes at the beginning that looks really, really bad.
But see, I agree with you. That was probably the weakest CG in the whole movie.
But I also felt like in some of the action scenes, I just felt like with the HFR, it was easier to see when they were like play fighting. Like this person really isn't getting hit in the face, and like this CG thing looks kind of fake. It just made everything look a little cheesier to me. I'm not a fan. I would still go see it again. I just wouldn't see it in HFR.
Meg, did you know that people felt the same way about sound entering film and color entering
Here's the thing.
film?
That's what I said. A younger generation may get used to this, and this may become the thing that they're like, oh my gosh, they watch non-HFR films? Like, how crazy. It'll be the standard frame rate. But for me, just not my taste, just not my style.
So I give this movie, now look, 5 Ewok hugs, a rating of 5 is a perfect film.
Yeah.
I find The Shining to be a perfect film. I don't think The Hobbit is perfect, but I think it's amazing. I'm biased because I'm a big nerd, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I love Bilbo, and I love the book, I love Tolkien, so I give this movie 4 out of 5 Ewok hugs.
Nice.
It's not perfect, but I love it.
Okay, so my final thoughts on this film are that if you like to go to the movies to escape real life, if you like to go to the movies to feel good and like get the good mojo flowing for the rest of the day, I say definitely go see it. I loved it. I think if there will be some elitists out there that were like, oh, I liked Lord of the Rings because it was epic and this one's too childish. And yes, it was written for a younger audience when the book was written, and the movie is faithful to that, so there are some more silly things in this one. It's everything that I go to the movies for wrapped up into one bundle. So while I don't think the movie was perfect, I'm still going to give it 5 out of 5.
My final thoughts are, the movie is fantastic. Like I said, I saw Fellowship of the Ring 9 times in theaters. There's a reason. I love the environment, I love the story, I love the characters. This is absolutely a return to Middle-earth, and that makes me so happy. HFR wasn't for me, but I'm not going to hold that against the film as a whole. It's just not a technology that I really enjoy. So I love it. Please go see it. You're going to love it. Give HFR a try. If you're someone who sees things multiple times, if you're not, don't do it. So my final rating would be, I don't think it's a perfect film, and I have given a couple 5s in the show, but I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought the story was fantastic. There are parts that I thought were a little too childish, a couple graphics that I thought looked really cheesy. So 4 out of 5 for me, and yeah, go see it, but not HFR. And that's it for New Movie Thing Show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys, and don't forget, if you can't go to the cinemas for whatever reason, you can always join us on Movie Club, where we watch movies on Netflix. And if you don't have a Netflix subscription, you can go to netflix.com/SourceFed and get a 30-day free trial, and you can watch movies with us and make reviews and send them in and join us.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Meg Turney.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
And I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but I had my shoes off the whole time
God.
during this thing. Also, got my ring of power, bitches. See ya!